Hello there everyone and welcome back. The Steam sale is underway and for all I know that could mean some good things or some bad things for me there. Good in that hopefully with the 66% off on Battlefield Gothic we might get some new players in here. The bad news probably being I'm going to terrify them and scare them off to God knows what other games. So it's going to be short-lived I think if it goes that route. And the ultimate bad news, it might also make these queues, these waits a little bit longer there, because I haven't had the best of luck for my warm-up fleet. So, fingers crossed we can carry on through regardless. But on the plus side from my last episode, I got my second Eclipse finally. So, with both of them now unlocked, I am hoping to be put in a situation where I don't have to worry about relying on my Auroras to do the brunt of the damage now. I actually got, hopefully consistently, a battle cruiser that I can use to kind of serve as my spearhead if I'm not put in the awkward situation where I may have to field both of them, which may happen as it stands right now. I have 3 of my Auroras kind of out of combat for the time being, so that may happen regardless. But what I'm kind of hoping by the time I get to my Admiral Level 8 and my Voidstalker is I'm really hoping to get both these Eclipses to level 4 and unlock their second upgrade. Although, the catch with that is they kind of require to actually survive their battles. That's going to be the hard part. That's going to be a tricky part I guess, because after all I'm making these things serve as my spearhead, so they could die ridiculously fast if I'm not careful and smart about my positioning. But let's see if this level 1 Eclipse is up for the task. Alright, it's showtime. What do we have here? Ooh, max level fleet. Fascist has been leveling quickly there, I gotta say. Either that or this is like his max level fleet, which probably means it does not bode well for me, because I'm pretty certain I fought him before, and he was like a lower level fleet. I'm pretty certain of that. So now it just begs the question, what's my options here? Oh, actually, let's see. 700 points, I'm getting no bonus points, so actually he is probably the same level as me, so maybe things aren't so terrible there. It really begs the question, do I really go with both my Eclipse there, especially with lack upgrades? What are my options really otherwise? What other options do I really have here? I do have the Aurora, I like the idea of that. And I would like a few Hellborn, but I would like my Kurnos available because in case of Stigs, that's a big risk too, so really top heavy here. I'm gonna have to get used to that I guess, but 2 Hellborn should, with an Aurora even, should work really well at forcing any supercharged void shields he might have. It's probably not as many frigates as I would like, because ideally I would like 3 or 4 to potentially take down the shields by themselves to really be threatening enough to force said supercharged void shield, but Aurora should be enough for that job. It's just going to tail a tiny bit behind. And with these 2 Eclipses, I got some raw firepower in the front. And also, come to think of it, I never did change my behavior for my second fall, so I'm going to have to do that as well, aren't I? Yep. It doesn't look like I did that, so terrain, the obstacles are a little bit barren here, so I don't know if this really works well for me or not. So Kurnos pattern is going to be in the middle, try and cover for everyone. We're going to have the Aurora and the Hellborn kind of grouped up. Actually, I kind of like the idea just have the Aurora in the middle. It just, if I move these as a group, it just naturally makes them spread out. So I like that idea. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Also, second Eclipse, let's set you up properly, especially the auto cast on the boarding. I think I want. There we go. Group 1, Group 2, Group 3. So that should help with my spreading out my Hellborn at least, making their attack runs hopefully a little bit better. That's the thought anyway. Maybe I should experiment with that more, combined with the Auroras, or at least a bigger ship, so that way they can just naturally spread out, just even for the purposes of Nova cannons, I want to say. It might be a little more confusing and complicated than I probably like though, because then suddenly my Aurora probably gets in the way if I try to have them turn around and run back. The Aurora's in an inconvenient position just due to speed difference, so something to experiment with. Something to experiment with, and 6 ships. What does this tell me? Well, we know that one's a cruiser of some kind, at least. I know that much, and he is just camping there, so I feel like this is the same fellow as before. I just can't remember if he was like an Imperial Navy. Was he that Imperial Navy player or not? I honestly can't remember. Although I've seen this playstyle before, because especially since this terrain favors them so heavily there. So I kind of need to do a direct attack through the front. Because attacking from the right here is not a good idea unless I'm really good about my crisis management, because there's going to be a lot of panic control to avoid getting hit by those asteroid fields, because otherwise my movement's going to be very predictable if I were to go that way. So I'm forced to fight from this angle, which doesn't bode well for me. Also, I need to keep in mind the recharge on this boosters, because the last thing I want is to have this Aurora actually... The last thing I want is this damn Aurora to actually hit my frigates. That's what I was trying to say. Because that could happen if I mash that booster key too often. And I'm not seeing any fighters or anything, so I should be in the clear as far as that. What on earth do I focus, though? Because with 6 ships, he could very easily have a good handful of frigates. That much is certain. And I want to say those are the frigates right there. So, safe to say I should ignore them. Have my Kernos pattern actually focus them down. I think I like that idea. I just gotta get my Eclipses ready to dive in. Let's see how this goes. Because without... Due to the... Okay, so he does actually have a ship over there. Everyone focus. Okay, I messed that up a little bit. Either way, level 4, he wasted his lightning strikes. Yeah, I forgot to turn it off. That was a big mistake. Either way, let's brace for impact for these things, because it looks like they're already in the thick of it. And thankfully he does not know how to stick them on there, so... I appreciate having new players there, but that probably doesn't bode well for him the best. Because this is gonna hurt. Oh boy, did it ever hurt. Holy crap. So everyone get on out. Holy crap. That's some vicious firepower. Well, needless to say, we're off to a good start. I just gotta get myself reorganized with this dang latency going on. And see if he reconsiders his aggressive attack, because now if he's facing away from me, which means his lock-on is kind of useless at the moment. And once his shields are gone, Maelstrom will do massive damage here. Just gotta get my ships out of the way. Now, unfortunately, I did waste one of my pulsars, but it is a frigate, so not too terrible. Ooh, this latency is still really horrible, though. Ugh. I think this is the same person from before. Well, he had a good firing arc. It just did not bode well for him there, even with the 2... Did he actually have 2 siege favors on there, or is that just a color variation? I actually did not check that. I actually did not check if he had favors on those ships or not. I just know they were like the Slanesh-style colors. It could have been siege, maybe. But with the ability to change the color of your fleets now, I have absolutely no idea, quite frankly. Either way, now let's deal with these frigates here before they do too much damage to my poor ships. And my Kernos pattern should be able to deal with those bombers easily enough. I just gotta make sure the fighters are close enough to actually defend in time. Nope, looks like the bombers are still gonna hit. Ugh. Pulsars. Alright, pulsars did do the damage they need to. I saw the Eclipse turning away, make me wish, well, kind of, that's part of the emphasis why I don't want them clumped up together. Because even though this looks like a nice healthy distance there, my level 1 Eclipse actually was forcing my other Eclipse to turn an awkward angle, and I nearly wasted a pulsar as a result. It seems to be working decently for the... Ugh, now the latency is getting really bad. That was like... Was that seriously a 1 second delay on the boost? Definitely a damn long delay. And there's 2 ships left, so he has an opportunity to run away now, if he so wishes. If he so wishes. I'm not seeing any signs of warp out yet. He's just hugging the gas cloud. So I'm going to have to make the decision for him. He does have fighters though, so this Kronos pattern does need to get up there. Actually, let me silent run to try and mitigate a lot of this fire. At least make it so the cruisers that are the ones getting hit. Because they're the ones that have the health to pretty much justify it, so I'm okay with them taking fire right now. Just gotta be ready to reload maybe. At least have the option available. I shouldn't need to lock on though. Ooh, and he does have a Stig. So that's thing. Oh, he has a Stig and Acheron. So yeah, those are his 2 battle cruisers right there. So I'm seeing no favors. It's just actually the color. So that explains that then. Okay, he is, I think, warping out. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt then. Alright, I'll let him go. That was a little bit underwhelming, despite the fact that he actually has the better level fleets. He has a level 4 Acheron, a level 4 Stig. So, what can I say? What can I really say there? He had the potentially better equipped fleet. I didn't see any favors though. Although, to be fair, I didn't really have much favors either. It's just 1 Aurora, which basically, well, this was my 3rd Aurora, so I practically got the favor back at Admiral Level 3, and never got any favors ever since, practically, so it was still fair game a little bit. I just got a favor to utilize. Apparently, his ships did not. But 200 renown, can't complain, and that happily will pay for the upgrade slot on my new Eclipse. Sadly though, the 3rd skill slot, the stasis bomb, which I'll probably go with, is going to have to wait a little bit longer. Not exactly exciting, but I'll take the surplus of renown. I could use that right now. I could definitely use that. And damn, that's a lot of firepower. That was a lot of goddamn firepower. Wrecking those cruisers almost immediately there. I can see why people like the Eclipse so much. Or maybe it was actually torpedoes doing the work for me. I honestly could not say. I honestly could not tell you. But it's a good, promising start to this brand new battle cruiser at least, so I'm hoping that can continue. Alright. Just to let you guys know there, my 2nd match actually got corrupted there. Because I fought the same fascist fella again there, and I won handily. The downside though is I lost my level 2 Eclipse. So you didn't really miss a whole lot, but that match will never be seen in the world, unfortunately. So we're going to replace it with an Imperial Navy match. 600 points, so cruiser class, so without a doubt he's got bonus points available. So 660 maybe? I'm not sure. He would at least be 1 level lower than me. At the very least, maybe even Admiral Level 5. And I want to get this Eclipse in because that will give me my 4th level should the ship survive. So, what else do I feel in that case? Because I should not need the Kronos patterns unless I'm worried about a Mars. Which I know for a fact if he has a Mars, he's only going to have a single one. So, let's throw the Eclipse in. And get a couple of Hellborns. I'll have 4 Hellborns. This will be an interesting fleet. I honestly would feel a little more comfortable if I could just get 3 Hellborns and squeeze in another Aurora. I think that would be a little more balanced and better for me. But it has that benefit of, like, what I'm trying to execute is force them to use the supercharged Void Shield early before I'm ready to commit with my cruisers, with the frigates. So there is at least that, and I would like to experiment more with my Auroras kind of in the middle of my frigates a little bit. Although it's going to be slightly different. Although it kind of lines up nicely because I can have my Hellborn with each of my Auroras. Whether this is a smart idea remains to be seen though. It's going to take some experimentation and practicing for that to work. And actually let me switch up my hotkeys. I have my Eclipse as Group 3. And I don't think I want that. So let's switch that around. Make sure everything's looking good, and see if this works for me or not, especially with 2 groups of Auroras and Hellborns. So this will be interesting, especially with Novicans. He has 10 ships, so I'm looking at the prospect he's probably light cruisers and frigates, essentially, so this could be scary. I kind of regret not having my Kronos pattern available, because that would be almost a guaranteed way to kill off the frigates one at a time, or at least heavily damage them, you would think. But I got enough pulsar that may not be a threat. It just depends on how they control, if they cooperate with my pulsar attack runs. So I need to be very careful. This could be dangerous. On the plus side, what, I got 7? Yeah, I got 7 ships versus 10, so... And all of them have pulsars, which are still pretty formidable.
Until the end.
And they're all nicely clumped up, so torpedoes could actually be useful here. Just long-range torpedoes. Now, I may have to try it there, but let's try... Well, I actually would like to get that gas cloud, but I don't think it's possible with the extra speed of his frigates. But I can force them to dance. I'm going to make them dance. I don't expect these to hit, but I'm going to try and force them to micromanage this fleet. Make them cause a few mistakes as I get these ships out of the way for my next torpedo run.
Moving to that location.
Oh, is that the right fleet? Okay, it is the right fleet. I was worried that was the wrong one. And I'm hoping these torpedoes don't hit.
We ride the solar winds.
If I can get some damage in, that'll be good. And I do have at least one stasis bomb to kind of utilize as like my escape plan.
Swiftly.
If only a little bit, so... I do want to get in aggressive and try and get some kills. I just gotta make sure he doesn't run me through there, because he's got enough ships to be scary. And those torpedoes aren't gonna do a whole lot. And I heard him drop something. Okay, I heard him drop something. I was wondering why he took so long. Okay, 2 stasis bombs. I'll live with that. Just dodge completely, because I did force some repairs, so that's a start. Now, if only I had some way to know which ones were doing the repairing. Wow, was that really 3 stasis bombs? I heard 3 activate anyway, so God knows what that was. Either way, let's continue with the torpedoes, shall we? I'm going to be flying a little bit blind here. And I'm hearing ramming. Okay, I thought that was me hitting myself at first. Nope, he's just losing control with his ship, so I know that feeling. Now, boost on out, get out of the way. Try and harass him, because if he's going to hide in that gas cloud, it actually makes my torpedo runs quite effective, even with the blind firing, because there's another torpedo hit. Another torpedo hit, let's get ready to go in aggressively now. Try and get some kills in, that would be the hope. Okay, these pulsars are doing crap right now. Okay, group number 2, okay, he's locking on with everything, so maybe I just want to get out of the way. Because, yeah, he just wasted another stasis. Oh, wait, that's my stasis bomb, never mind. So, let's get on ready and get out. Just deny his lock on is what I want to do, I think.
Until the end.
Deny the lock on, and I do have reinforced rate bone to kind of help with that too a little bit.
The Eldar stand ready.
But this is going to be a concern.
As you wish.
Okay, 1 frigate down there. Make sure fires are not causing issues.
For incoming fire.
Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, pulsars, damn it, I hit the wrong button.
Move at full speed. We have found the enemy.
Nope, these torpedoes could cost me heavily if I let them hit. Yeah, they hit.
Swiftly.
Now, get moving. Yep, stop rebelling on me, I don't want that.
Call forth the bone singers. We are
And torpedoes did miss at least, so... There's that. Let's kill another frigate, shall we?
the Eldar stand
Wraith bone armor's in place. Oh, did I mess it up? Yeah, I messed it up, damn it. Get on out. Keep on firing.
Yes, Commander.
And that's another ship gone. I only got rid of 2, but one's gonna die to the fires momentarily, so...
Until the end.
Keep on moving, keep on boosting, and keep on giving him hell. Because as it stands now, this ship's in a lot of danger. This Eclipse. And I thankfully should dodge this, except for my frigate. My frigate might take a hit. Nope, I think we're in the clear. And I am actually hitting now, so this Eclipse is not taking any more damage anytime soon. That's the thought. That's the hope. It remains to be seen if that carries on. Ooh, and I got myself an Overlord, so he's brought out the big guns. Gotta be careful of these torpedoes, so that's good. Oh, did I get the kill? I got the kill and I forced an overcharge, so this is working well considering the awkward placement that I have to deal with here. This is working out nicely. We got ourselves a light frigate and now he's down to 5 ships, so... Nope. Micro warp jump, where's that coming? Oh, he's running away. I think that's a good sign for me. That's a really damn good sign. He's still got a handful of frigates I'll have to deal with, but I think I routed his forces now if he wants to keep this Overlord. Even with his bonus points. But I gotta say, this is kind of what I was afraid of there, considering the success of my Space Marine frigate force. And thankfully it wasn't as bad as I thought, or maybe I just got lucky. Hard to say. Hard to say, I just gotta get in close now and start killing off his frigates, because if he's not gonna warp out, I'm gonna have to force him to. Come on, hit. And those are really bad pulsar shots, I gotta say. And do those torpedoes hit? Probably not. So close, so close. But at least I could kill that one frigate. That one sword. Alright, so I think those torpedoes are not going to hit. He was denied the ramming attempt. Sorry, buddy, not happening today. And can I get double frigate kill? Nope. His brace for impact's actually denying a lot of that damage. Oh well, we're good. We're good here. I just gotta make sure he doesn't get too aggressive with the ramming, because this might hurt. Especially with brace for impact to soak a lot of his damage. Come on, kill it. There. That's another one down. Now, get hit with pulsars, although I should hit the one in the minefield. Nope, never mind. This is locking on. This is a bigger threat. Alright, I think we're golden, folks. We are good. There's just Overlord left, which I think he just ran away with. And I don't think he understands the concept of running away, so just kill this frigate. And then we'll go for the real prize. Everything repair, everything spread out. That'd be kind of nice too. And preferably, do not fly in the asteroid field. That's a sure way to get yourself killed. Because with no armor, that's like, what, 7.5 damage a second, I believe? Let's see, this is 10 damage, right? 10 damage and reduced by armor. So, I did not even lose a single ship, despite how awkward that felt. That felt really awkward, and I didn't even lose a frigate. Hell, they're all at full health. That's an amazing win in my book, although I really should consider silent running.
Stealth is the key to success.
Especially with my Eclipse there.
As you wish.
Although, I should probably wait a little bit to let that engage last, because that's so vulnerable to getting killed too.
Your service.
But we know what he's doing with the Overlord.
Yes, Commander.
We know what he's doing with the Overlord, at least.
The Eldar.
Just gonna try and get my attack in, because his supercharged Void Shield's probably up at this point. So, my attack run's probably not going to be as effective as I like. And I have no way to tell where he's at either. Alright, where is he hiding? Unless he's at the edge of the cloud. I wasn't paying attention.
The void is our home.
Alright. He decided to give up. Probably the smart choice. Since he still lost his one cruiser. But
We have found the enemy.
that was a big success. I am really happy with how that fight turned out. Not only did he like try and swarm me with nothing but frigates, it was a perfect run. I did not even lose a single ship, and only my Eclipse really took notable damage. At least at the end of that, with the repairs and all, because, hell, every single one of my Hellborn were at like over 180 health, so I call that almost a perfect run. That's what I want to call, and holy crap, can't ask for a better result there. Levels on everything. We got a level 5, we got a level 6, and we finally got our first Eclipse to level 4. Oh, I'm so happy with how that turned out. I am so happy indeed. What better thing could I ask for? Although already, with the one match that you'll never see unfortunately, because again, with the corrupted video I had, you're not going to be able to see that unfortunately. But we're already halfway to level 8, and I still have a lot of work to do before I can get this second Eclipse to level 4. Hell, do I seriously want a priority repair? I probably count my blessings if I do get it to level 3 even, well within level 3, so I think I won't rush it, even though that's kind of my hope. Now, we have the interesting predicament of what the hell do I put on this Aurora? Belt armor kind of seems like a must to protect my components, so I think that would be my go-to. Otherwise, void blending could be useful if I'm really committed and just silent running there. That could be useful, but don't know how much I need that, because it's really easily countered when I'm fighting a really competent fleet, so probably not worth getting, I would argue. And another thing I'm really curious about is deflecting hollow fields. Is this actually a useful upgrade? I seriously am curious about that. Because for really long drawn out fights, this probably can be more effective than the belt armor, I want to argue. Especially with lock-on. I feel like the fragile attribute in conjunction with lock-on is a huge, huge risk. I could just get bursted down really quickly, especially with these Auroras, and I'm seriously wondering if this is a good upgrade or not. Because I honestly don't know. Probably better overall just to go with the belt armor, so that's still going to be my go-to, but I do sort it out there for anyone who may have a clue. Otherwise, polarized field could be useful, but I hate the random element of this, because sometimes it may be useful, sometimes it may not, just because of placement of the asteroid fields. Not to mention that I need like polarized fields on all my ships there, otherwise I'm going to be put in a situation like with my Shadow, I'm going to have to memorize which has that upgrade or not, so I probably should withhold on that. Otherwise, I would love to boost the accuracy or the mobility of these ships, make them even harder to hit potentially. In theory, because these things could actually turn and avoid cannon shots at far enough range, so I'm seriously considering these upgrades at least as my level 8 and maybe level 10. But we'll stick with the safe thing for now. We're going to go with the belt armor, because really, there's only 3 weapons on this thing. Generators is a big deal if I lose them. Engines are obviously a big deal. All those I want to avoid, especially with the fragile state, so I'm going with that. And we got our 4th level 5, which rounds out my entire light cruiser fleet up to level 5, and we're well underway to gain level 6 on the other ones. Now, big question. Do I go with belt armor on this thing as well or not? Because I like to enhance his Wraithbone shift as well, because it's kind of vulnerable to getting chased down. Hell, I may want to change the dragon sails on the Shadow for the Wraithbone, was it the energy accumulator as well, if not just change that entirely. Honestly, don't know what I want to do with the Shadow, as I mentioned many times before, but I think what I want to do, if I can get away with it, especially since there's more weapon components to this thing, is just get the solar accumulator and help with that some.